What if I told you that one of Amazon's oldest AI secrets is quietly being pushed toward the exit? While at the same time, a humanoid robot company is getting ready to go public? Yeah. On one side, we have Mechanical Turk, the platform where real humans did tiny online tasks that computers could not handle. And on the other side, we have Agility Robotics, a company building humanoid robots for warehouses, factories, and maybe one day, your house. But here's the twist. The humans behind the machine may be fading away, and the machines trying to act human are not ready to come home yet. Welcome back to the Awkward Algorithm, where tech gets weird, AI gets awkward, and robots still cannot find the ketchup in your fridge. Let's get into it. Amazon is making a major change to Mechanical Turk. Starting July 30th, 2026, Amazon will stop accepting new customers for the service. Now, existing customers can still use it, so this is not a full shutdown. But let's be real. When a company says, we are not taking new customers and we are not planning new features, that is basically tech company language for, we left this app in the basement and forgot to feed it. Mechanical Turk launched all the way back in 2005. That is ancient in internet years. That is back when people were still arguing over MySpace profile songs. The idea was simple. Companies could pay people small amounts of money to complete simple tasks, things like labeling images, checking text, or identifying emotions. It was called Mechanical Turk because the original Mechanical Turk was an old chess playing machine that looked automated, but secretly had a human inside. And honestly, that is the perfect metaphor, because for years, a lot of what people called AI was not fully AI. Sometimes, behind the curtain, there were just underpaid humans clicking, labeling, sorting, and cleaning up the mess. So while companies were saying, look at our smart system, somewhere, a real person was probably sitting there like, bro, I just made 6 cents deciding if this picture has a traffic light. This matters because Mechanical Turk played a huge role in the rise of artificial intelligence. AI needs data, a lot of data. And not just any data, labeled data. Someone has to tell the machine, this is a dog, this is a cat, this sentence is angry, this image has a stop sign. For years, platforms like Mechanical Turk helped companies get that human feedback, but now we are in a different era. AI models can generate text, analyze images, summarize documents, and even help label data themselves. And here is where it gets strange. Reports found that some Mechanical Turk workers were using large language models to complete the tasks. So now we have humans using AI to complete tasks that were supposed to help train AI. That is not just a circle. That is a snake eating its own tail while filing a support ticket. And it raises a big question. If AI is doing the work that humans were doing to train AI, then what happens to the human in the loop? That is the uncomfortable part. Because Mechanical Turk was already criticized for low pay, repetitive work, bots, fraud, and questionable data quality. So Amazon closing the door to new customers may not be shocking, but it feels symbolic. It feels like the end of an era. The old version of hidden human labor behind AI is fading, but the next version, that may be walking on 2 legs. Now let's talk about Agility Robotics. Agility is a humanoid robotics company based in Oregon, and it is planning to go public through a SPAC merger. The deal values the company at around $2.5 billion, and if it goes through, Agility could become the first pure-play humanoid robotics company traded on public markets. That means regular investors could get direct access to a humanoid robot company. And you already know Wall Street hears the word robot and starts acting like somebody plugged a Red Bull into a calculator. But Agility's CEO, Peggy Johnson, is not promising some fantasy robot butler tomorrow. She is being careful, very careful. No robot cooking your eggs next year. No robot folding your laundry by Christmas. No Digit will babysit your kids and emotionally support your dog. In fact, she says home robots are probably still more than 10 years away, and that makes sense. Because warehouses are controlled environments. They have aisles, shelves, routines. Your house? Your house is chaos. There are socks on the floor, kids running around, somebody left a spoon in the couch. A robot walks into that and immediately needs therapy. Now let's talk about Digit. Digit is about 5'9" and around 160 pounds. So basically, it is built like a warehouse worker who skipped leg day, but somehow still has bird knees. Digit is designed to move heavy objects in spaces built for humans. That is important. Digit has reverse bend knees that help it reach low and high areas without bumping into shelves. Its hands are also not trying to be human hands. They are built for grabbing totes, not shaking hands, not playing piano, not making your grandma's famous stew. Totes, That is the mission. And honestly, that is probably the smartest thing about this company. They are not trying to do everything. They are trying to do one useful thing very well. Move stuff. In warehouses, that matters, because warehouse work is physically demanding, repetitive, and hard to hire for. Agility says it has customers including GXO Logistics, Amazon, Toyota Motor Manufacturing Canada, Schaeffler, and Mercado Libre. And the company says it has more than $300 million in booked multi-year revenue connected to roughly 1,000 robots through a robots-as-a-service model. Basically, Netflix. But instead of streaming movies, you rent a 160-pound robot with bird legs. Technology is getting weird. So here is the bigger story. Amazon's Mechanical Turk represents the older internet economy, a world where human workers quietly helped machines look smart. Agility Robotics represents the next phase, a world where machines are trying to enter physical workspaces and do jobs humans do not want. But both stories are connected by one question: who is really doing the work? For years, the answer was hidden humans. Now, the answer may slowly become robots. But do not get carried away. Humanoid robots are still not ready to take over your house. They are not cooking dinner, they are not cleaning your room. And they are definitely not finding the TV remote that you lost 11 minutes ago. For now, they are heading to warehouses. Boxes first, bedrooms later. So Amazon may be slowly closing the door on Mechanical Turk, while Agility Robotics is opening the door to public markets. One chapter of human-powered AI is fading. Another chapter of physical AI is trying to stand up, balance, and not fall into a shelf full of packages. The future is not just artificial intelligence anymore, it is artificial labor. And the real question is, are we ready for robots to leave the lab and clock in for work? Because they may not be coming to your kitchen yet, but they might already be coming to a warehouse near you. This is the awkward algorithm. Like, subscribe, and stay plugged in, because the machines are learning, the humans are adapting, and somewhere out there, a robot with bird legs is preparing for its first shift. Next up, is AI replacing workers, or just changing who gets paid?